Hello guys and welcome back to another video of 100 Days of Code. Welcome to day number 8. I do apologise because this one is actually late again, so it is like an hour and a day and 10 hours late again, so it's not exactly 24 hours since I last uploaded, and I'm sorry again. I apologise. I try my best, but sometimes I do not succeed. But anyway, today, as you can't already tell, we are creating a my bad, 1 second. I needed to surf it on my local surfer quickly, and boom, there we go. So we are making a higher or lower game, and in this one we are, so actually it's 5. Why is 5? 5 is the most difficult number to get higher or lower. Hey, I did it. So as you see, it said correct and it gave me 1 score. If I go higher again, hey, now if we go lower, ooh, lower, yes, higher, match. So if you get a match, it just says match and you don't get any points, or lower. Higher, correct. Let's go. Oh yes, see, you get the gist. I don't know why I'm saying that. Wait, we need to fail. We haven't failed yet. There you go. So if you get incorrect, it resets your score and it says incorrect, so you lose your score. So that's the game we're making. And this is the app. You'll be learning how to do comparison numbers using data values, and all that sort of thing. So let's get over to the code. So straight away, we're going to be doing index.html. We're going to be... I am losing all my words. So we're going to be creating this. So we're going to call this higher and lower. And then we're going to need a wrapper, so we're going to create a wrapper class as usual. We're going to create a h1 for the title and call it higher or lower game. And we are going to go over to game-view and start for that. So that is where our game is going to be, like the officials for the actual game, so the buttons and stuff in here. So we're going to create .number with a ID of current. So we have this code. We're going to set it to 0 so it doesn't look weird when we actually do the design. And then we're going to also create a div called button group. And inside that button group, we're going to create diffs, 2 diffs. In this diff, we're going to create a .button with the ID of higher. And oh, hello, why would you not higher? And we're going to set the data value equal to higher, and we're going to set the name to and hash 8613 semicolon. So basically this is actually a sort of hex value. I think this one's called a decimal value, and basically what it does is it's like where you get your icons, your different, it's a code for, let's say, stuff like this. So it's a code for that, it's a code for that, there's codes for lines. If you want a longer line, you could do and end dash, and end dash, and that will create you a longer dash, and there's loads of different dashes and stuff. So that is how that is done. We're going to copy this one, bring it over here, paste it in there, and we're going to say data value equal to lower and the ID equal to lower. Now we're going to set this one to 15 because that one is a down arrow and 13 is an up arrow. Just to let you know, so we're using this data value, and data value basically means it's basically a prop. So it's like you have a value here which you can access in JavaScript to get this value here. So whatever you put in here, you can actually get it. So data is just what you use because it creates a data set for the value. So it's part of the data set, and then hyphen, and then whatever you do hyphen afterwards is what you get from the JavaScript. So that is the button group. Next up, let's go out of the game view now because the game view is now done. Wait, is that the game view? No, that's the wrapper. Whoops. Don't do that. Wait, what? Did I? Oh, my bad. Sorry, these buttons actually need to be in the game view because it's how we style it. And then out of it, we'll do H4, and we're going to set that. Oh, not H3, H4, and we're going to set that to score. We're going to put capital score, and then we're going to go dot score, ID score, and set that to 0. And lastly, but not least, we're going to go H3 with the class of result and hide, and the ID of results, we can actually get it. And we're going to set it to correct to start with, but for now it's good. So now if we go over here, actually we have to start our server first. So let me just bring this into view. And I've already started it, so I'm using surf. So if we close out of here, I can actually show you how to install Sass. So if you want to install this, as long as you have nodes installed, Node Package Manager. So if you just search Node.js and install that, or Node and install that, it will also come with the Node Package Manager, and you can do stuff like this: npm i-g, which stands for globally, so you can access this command from anywhere. And then you type in serve and hit enter, and it will download it for you and install it. And then after that, you can just do surf and then dot to do the current root directory where we are right now. So now, if we go over to here and we refresh, this is our game. Look at that, and see what I mean by the arrows. They're the arrows, what you get from doing different things. I've also noticed I've called these buttons diffs, but I'm actually going to do them as buttons, although you can still do them as diffs if you want to. There you go, nice little buttons, but we'll style those up as you've seen in the final outcome. Okay guys, so we have created the HTML as usual, but obviously we need to style this up. So we're going to create an assets folder. Inside that assets folder, we're going to call a Sass folder, and in there we're going to go main.sass as usual. Okay, and after we've created the main.sass, we need to also create some variables in Sass using primary. I'm going to set that to the usual as af1e2d, secondary, which is going to be equal to ffce00, dark, which is going to be equal to 171717, and light, which is equal to f3f3f3. And that is those. Next we're going to do the body tag. We're going to set the margin to 0, the background to dark, and the font family, just because I like it, XO2, Helvetica, and sans serif, my very best friends. We're going to create the dot wrapper next. We're going to say display, and we're going to say flex. We're going to say flex direction is equal to column, because we want it going left and right of each other, not we want to go underneath each other, not above. We want align items to be center, because we want to center the items. And then we want to set the width to 100 vertical width and the height to 100 vertical height. And we'll do the H1 quickly. We're going to do color of light, because it's on a dark background, it only makes sense. And we're going to text transform that to be uppercase. So what that does is turn it into capitals. Oh, and we did the rookie mistake. We forgot to link our CSS and change that to main. No, that needs to be assets/css/main.min.css. And we actually need to compile our Sass. So down here, I have watch Sass installed at VS Code. If you need to install that, it's in the extensions, and you install it like a usual extension. I've got over this in other tutorials. Okay, now the Sass has compiled. Again, you could do everything I do in the... That's not what it should look like yet. Wow, why has that compiled the wrong Sass? Can we go back in here? Hello, H1, success. There you go. Well, it like somehow compiled Sass, which wasn't in its directory. It must have had like some sort of memory of the whole Sass. But yeah, so that's so far. Next we need to install these buttons and that. So to do that, we need to go into H1. So H1 is good. We need to style up. Where is it? Game view, game -view, and we're gonna say display flex, justify content center, and align. I think align items center. I think that's what we want to do. And inside that we need to do number, which is the item the number which we set, which will be the current number, and that is going to be a light. Font size equal to 125 pixels, I feel should be good. Line height 1, font weight 700, and then padding 15 pixels so we can add some spacing around it. Some margin to the right because we want to push away the button so not sitting up against it, and we want to say background, and we're going to use transparentize. Again, I've gone over this enough videos, but again, what this does is you add your color, so it is light for this one, and the amount is 0.85. Oh, well, you could do 0.85, but 0.85 looks nicer. And 0.85, and that should give you basically 15% opacity overall. And then we want to also set transition to all 0.5s and linear. So this is for when we actually start changing. Wait, why do I need it on number? I don't need it on number. That's the wrong one for that to be. I'm sorry. I was thinking we were doing the the final. So you'll see soon why we need that, but we don't need that yet. So next up is well, actually, let's go have a look what that looks like. There you go, so that's our number. Next up, we need to go for the button group. Again, display flex, because it is my best friend. I love flex. Flex direction, column, justify contents. I think it's space between align. Oh, align items to flex start, and the color should be light. Do we need? I don't think we need align items there, but that's not going to do anything, is it? What am I on about? Button group. So now we need to go back in here, and we actually need to say next to these, we need to say higher or lower. And now there you go, the higher and lower text is there. So in button group, we want to get the first diff, any diff inside there, go display flex, justify content to be space between. So we're getting this diff here to be space between, and then that should, there you go, makes it sit in line a bit better there, but you'll be more noticeable once we do it through, once we style the button. That's it, that's what I was saying. A width is going to be equal to 50 pixels. The height is equal to 50 pixels. Border, we don't want a border, so we're going to set it to none. Outline, we don't want to outline because that's annoying when you click on it. And then font size. So we're going to say font size 28 pixels, if I remember correctly. That was a good size. The line height to be 50 pixels to match the height. And the font weight to be 700. We need a padding to be 0 and a margin to be 0. We need cursor to be pointer. There we go. Now let's restart. Hey, there we go. So the buttons are that. Whoa, why are you not in line now? That was it. We need to actually put those in P tags because I decided that they look stupid not in P tags. Yeah, I said it's stupid. And then we will go and do some button down here, P tag. So we're going to go P tag and we'll say margin left 15 pixels. There you go, that looks better now. That's fixed it. And now we need to do some button. So button and hashtag higher. We're going to say color is equal to light. The background is equal to primary. And then we're going to say and hover, and we're going to use another cool feature called that's nice. Lighten. Lighten? It is lighten. Oh, it's because I haven't got anything in front of it. Background. Lighten. And then we're going to do, oh. Wait, if we type out lighten. There you go, so it brings up the function. What's lightness? Gets the lightness component off color. Right, lighten, and we're going to say primary, and the amount to be 5. I always find 5 is a good. And then we're going to also active. So active means once you're clicking on the button, or if the button is held down. Background is equal to darken, so we want to darken it, and we want to say primary, and we also want to say by 5 as well. So now if we come here, boom, so now if you click, that's good. I've just noticed though, our buttons are not spaced betweening, if you get what I mean. So they should actually, did we actually need the align items flex start? Oh no, that fixes that. That was cool. But it didn't fix. Why are you doing that? What are you doing? Inspector. Odd. So in div button group has flex. What the hell? Why has it changed all my... What are you doing? Okay, we're going to pretend like it's working. To be fair, that doesn't look too bad, but I do want to fix that because that feels wrong. Right, so now, anyway, so let's get onto this. The next one is and hashtag lower, because we want to set the lower color. And we're going to say basically the same as this, but we want to say color dark, background secondary, and we want to put secondary in there and secondary in there. Now if we refresh, there you go, that is higher or lower. Let's go. Let's go. So that is that done. Next is the score, that's it. So where are we? So we've got the button group. I think we need to come down here actually. Go H4. Color, and we want it light because we want it to be the light color. Font size is equal to 28. Is again a nice size. Line height 1 because we don't want it too much light, and margin of 15 pixels all around. And then we actually want to edit the score text button, which will be actually pretty much the same as the. Is it the button? No, it's this number. So we want to get the number, and we want to put that in there, and we want to set the font size though to 42. We want to set margin right, we want to take that off, and the background we actually want to set up secondary. Now we want primary. Let's go primary and 8.5. Let's see what that looks like. Boom, I can't like that. It was yellow before, but I've gone with the red this time because I prefer that. And the last, let's put down here also hide. Now this one actually needs transition, and we want to say all because we want to affect everything. 0.5 set. That's not 0.5 seconds and linear. And then we want to say opacity to 0. So basically, we're not, when we hide stuff in this, we're not actually hiding it. We're just setting it to 0. So this transition works. So it's like a little, so we can do a little effect. I feel like I'm missing something from there. Oh, we are missing the H3 tag, which is actually, so we're actually missing the style of that button down there, because else it would just be dark. We need to set color equal to light, the font size equal to 40 pixels, line height is equal to 1, and the margin as 15 pixels again. Give it some spacing array. And now we actually want to set up some other things. So we're going to do and correct. So if it has the class of collect, we actually want to set the color to secondary because you want it to display like it's got, so like it's correct. We should do a green, but I don't want to really set up green, and I like my colors. So we're going to see that. And if it's incorrect, we're going to say the red, which will be primary. And we also want to add transition on this one too. So when it's switching between them, it all changes correctly. And we want to set all 0.5 seconds and linear again. Oh, and we need to remove the class of hide from it. There you go. So that's what it will display as, although it will be a different color once it comes around to it. So let's add hide back on. Higher, lower. So that is the design done. Really simple design. Again, there was no big going into it. It was just more, it's more of just a design to placeholder. I don't really want to put too much. If you want to make this all fancy and when you click higher and when you lose and stuff have like loads of effects, you can, but for now that is all we need to do. So next up, we need to create the JS folder, and inside the JS folder we always need the main.js, and this time we're not going to make the rookie mistake. We're actually going to link it in here, and we're going to say assets JS main.js. And now that is sorted, so that is now connected up. If we console.log, woo, day 8. Sorry, it's late. gotta plug that in there. And now let's go back over it. Let's go here and let's refresh. Woo, day 8. Sorry, it's late. Again, I am sorry it's late. Please don't hurt me. So next up, we're going const. We need to now get the elements from in here, like the number, the actual current number, the higher, lower values, and the results. So we actually want to go current lm is equal to document.get element by ID, and that is equal to current because that is the element. We actually want to get the buttons next, but we're actually going to get both of them at the same time. So we're going to do document.get class name button. So we want to get both of the buttons because we're going to loop through the buttons and then add the function in that way to make it easier. So you have to add a button for each one and then do all the stuff separately. So next up we need the result. So at the bottom we add the result element, and that was equal to, what was that equal to? Result. I should have guessed. Document.get element by ID result. And the last one is the score element, which is equal to document.get element by ID, and I believe it was score, right? Yep, it's score. So first things, we want to say let last underscore number is equal to 0, and then let current number equal to, and now we want to add in a random number here. But we'll do that after. Let me explain first. So last number, so this will be the last number you chose. So from here, so we have the current number, and then when you click higher, we will set the current number equal to last number and replace current number with the new number, and then we will compare them to see if they are higher or lower than each other. So let's create this random number generator, and let's go oh no, we need a function, don't we? Function random int get random int, and we're going to, oh, about a hiccup there. And we're going to return, so we need to return a number called, or we need to return math.floor. So this rounds any like float to a whole number. And then in here we also need to go math.random, which returns a random number between 0 and 1. And we're going to times that by 10. And then close that up. And why do I feel like that? Why is that in double brackets? I don't know why that's in double brackets. Why did I do that? I keep thinking I'm going to minus the min number, but the min number is 0, so we don't have to minus anything. And the reason we times by 10 is because this is exclusive. So if we say 10, that actually means we're going to get a max number of 9. So if we had a min and a max value which we passed in, this would be 10 because it's exclusive in this scenario. And in here, all we do is get, sorry, my bad, random int, and that's how we set current number. So the current number is sorted, so it's all good, that's happy days. We next want to say current element dot inner text is equal to, and we're going to say current number, because we want the current number to, we want that to update to the current number every single time. So when we start, we also need to set the current number. Now let's loop through those buttons so we actually have them. So let's go for let I is equal to 0, so we're setting that to 0, and then if I is smaller than buttons.length, it's less than buttons.length, we're going to increment I. So there's a for loop. I think we've gone through this before, but basically what this does is whatever the condition is in here, it then runs until this condition just no longer matches. And if we, so as you can see here, we said let I equal 0, so that means this thing here is called 0. We then see if I is less than buttons. If it is less than buttons, we then put I++, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, so on every time this runs, and then we run anything in here. And the first thing we want to run is buttons. Buttons.I, so we get both the buttons which are in the element, add event listener, click, and then we want to say function. I would use an arrow function here and just call play game that way, but this won't work in an arrow function because this basically will stand for the window and not the buttons element. So now if we go data.set.value, so remember when we set the data value, this is what it does. If this is dataset.value, dataset is anything with data hyphen before it, and then whatever it is after it, you do dot. So here we could say data number or data choice, for example, and in here we could change this to choice, and it will still return whatever is in here. We're going to change it back to value because I like value, and we're going to say value. And basically, let's log this quick. Actually, let's do it in the function. So we're going to say function play game, and we're going to say choice because it was our choice, and we're going to say log choice. So now, if we come here and we click on lower, it says lower. If we click on higher, it says higher. So that is what that does. It returns us the higher value. So this is what we want to do now. So this is where the game logic comes in. We want to go last number is equal to current number. So we want to set the last number equal to the current number. God, that was a tongue twister. And then we want to set the new current number equal to get random int again, because this will be the new integer we get. And then we want to set the current elem.innerText. We want to set that equal to current number. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh wait, why did I do that? I don't know why I added the parentheses at the end, sorry. And then we want to do something called let comparison. So this is a global, this is what we're going to, so we're going to use that later on. So we're going to store, so we're going to check if current number is less than, equal to, or more than last number. And then we're going to set the comparison to the correct statement, if so. So now we're going to say if last number is less than current number. If it's less than current number, that means the comparison is equal to higher, because that means the last number, so the number we just had, was actually lower than the current number. Does that make sense? That seems really weird backwards. That feels backwards, but that's correct. I know that's correct. So let's say if we got a 6, and then here, and then this next number was an 8, that means this is higher. Does that make sense? It didn't make sense to me when I first did it. I actually did it backwards and I was wondering why it wasn't working, but when you actually get into it, that works. And then we want to do the current number. We want to set the other way now, so if last number is more than current number, I just realised I didn't drop my curly braces down. And then we're going to say comparison is equal to lower. And then we want to say else, so we want to say if none of those match, then if none of those are correct statements, then we want to set the comparison equal to match. So that will do that. And now we'll go if choice, so the choice we pick, the choice we pass through up here, is equal to the comparison. If it's equal to the comparison, that means we win. And so we will say here score, we need to increment the score. We want to go to the score element dot inner text is equal to score, sorry. And then we want to say result. So we want to set the result element dot inner text equal to correct. We want to set result element dot class list dot add correct. So we want to add that class correct, because if you remember in the CSS, if it has correct, it changes color. And then we want to say that as well, but we want to say remove, and we want to remove the hide class so that it does the animation in. And then we're doing something slightly odd here. We're going to set a timeout, and we're going to set this timeout. So this, I explain it once I've written. So we'll get a timeout, which then takes a callback function and also a time, so how long it takes. So we're going to say 750. That works out about right. And now if we say, we basically want to do the opposite to this. We want to go there and we want to remove correct and we want to add hide, but we want to do it in that way. So if we set the timeout now, after 750 milliseconds, so quarter of a second, it will then run this, and that works out about right because we have an our transition here. Oh, it's not there. Our transition here, where is it? Transition lasts for 5 seconds. You get about quarter of a second before it then disappears again, which sounds quite fast, but it isn't. It's actually about right. So now if we do nothing else, if we want to say comparison is equal to, and we want to say if it's equal to match, that means we've obviously drew. And we want to set the result elem.inner ht or inner text equal to match. We want to set result, well, to be fair, we want to do the same here with this, but we want to change correct to match and correct to match. So we want to set those to match and that's match. So then it will once if we get a match, it will display the match text and make it white. You know what? Actually, for this, we don't even need match, the class match, because the match actually does nothing. All it does, because if without any class, which we've removed the classes anyway, it comes up white naturally. My bad. And then in the last one, if it's last, then we've lost. So if we go, it means we've lost. So if we go here, we can actually do the same sort of thing here, but we're going to set score equal to 0, the inner text equal to score, this into incorrect because we got it wrong. We're going to add the class incorrect and then remove the class incorrect, and that is that. I'm pretty sure that is going to get all our functionality needs here. So we've got a 3. We're going to go higher. We got correct. Nan. Dun dun dun. So now we have an issue. We have an error. Let's figure that out. Let's figure out why. So we said score. Wait, where's score? So our issue, we were calling something called score, but we didn't set score equal to 0 from the start, so score doesn't actually exist. So now if we do lower, match none. Lower, 3, 1, nice. So now we'll go higher, 6, 2, so we got that correct. If we go higher, 9. If we go higher again, we can't, so we got incorrect, and it reset it for us. So that was a really short but simple game. Again, I hope you learned something new. My tutorials are getting quite similar to how they have been all the other tutorials, so you might not be learning much, but you'll be doing it repetitively, which means you'll remember them. I'm going to try and do something new next time. I'm hoping to either get onto Node.js or Vue.js, one of the two, because they seem both cool. But let me know down in the comments which one you would prefer, if it's Node.js or Vue.js, or if you'd prefer something completely different. But otherwise, if you like this video, then like this video. If you want to see more, then subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any feedback, leave it in the comments. Thanks for watching, people. Peace out. Let's just try this one more time. Higher. Yes. Higher. Yes. Higher. Okay, I'm done. All right. Peace out, people.